What is up, WrestleScope Nation? Before I say a single word more, I need you to stop whatever you're doing right now. Because what happened to Finn Balor in the lead-up to this year's Royal Rumble is one of the most disrespectful, most deliberately overlooked stories in WWE right now, and almost nobody is talking about it at the level it deserves. A man who built the underground of this company, a man who created one of the most iconic characters in modern wrestling history, a man who has bled, sacrificed, and reinvented himself time and again for this business, was quietly, coldly, surgically left off the most star-studded Royal Rumble card in recent memory. And when the cameras found Finn Balor afterward, he didn't hold back, not even close. Stick around, because by the end of this video, I promise you, you're going to feel something, and you're going to have opinions. Drop them in the comments, because this is a conversation. Let's be real for a second. Let's reset the clock and remember exactly who Finn Balor is, because it feels like WWE's booking team might need a reminder. This is the man who, on his first night as a main roster superstar, defeated Seth Rollins clean to become the first ever Universal Champion. One night, one match, clean win, first ever. History made. Then, within 24 hours, a torn labrum forced him to vacate the title he had just won. He handed it back without ever defending it. Most guys, that kind of devastating setback breaks them. They fade. They become journeymen. They clock in and clock out. Not Finn Balor. He came back. He rebuilt. And in the process, he gave us one of the greatest creative resurrections in wrestling history. The full-time rebirth of the Demon. That dark, haunting, face paint-soaked alter ego that turns an already elite in-ring performer into something that feels supernatural, untouchable, terrifying in the best possible way. And when the Judgment Day faction launched, Finn wasn't just a member. He was the founding father, the architect, the guy who gave that group its spine. Without Finn Balor as the connective tissue, Damian Priest, Rhea Ripley, and Dominic Mysterio don't become what they became. That faction changed the entire DNA of Raw, and Finn was at the center of it. So when we talk about being snubbed from the Rumble, we are not talking about a mid-card guy who's been treading water. We are talking about a cornerstone of this company being treated like furniture. Now let's get into the meat of it. What actually went down? In the weeks building toward the Royal Rumble, the WWE machine was in full promotional mode. Social media campaigns, hype packages, superstar interviews, the classic slow burn of Rumble season where everyone is teasing their number, throwing out challengers, stirring the pot. And Finn Balor, he was doing what Finn does, being one of the most consistently engaging performers on the roster. Promos with intensity, in-ring work that reminded everyone why he's elite. The kind of momentum where you'd think, logically, creatively, obviously, this is a Rumble guy. Then the card dropped. The 30 participants leaked, began circulating. No Finn. Now, injuries happen. Last-minute changes happen. That's the nature of the live wrestling beast. But here's where the story takes a sharp left turn, because the way Finn found out, the timing of how it was communicated, and the reaction he had when the cameras caught up to him, that's where this becomes something bigger than just a booking decision. According to sources close to the situation, and Finn himself alluded to this in post-event media, there was no meaningful advance communication, no real heads-up, no creative conversation, no, hey, we're going in a different direction for the Rumble, here's where we're taking you next, just the card, without him on it. For any wrestler, that's a gut punch. For a guy of Finn Balor's caliber, tenure, and contribution to this company, that's not a booking decision, that's a statement. And this is the part of the story that has the wrestling world absolutely buzzing. Because Finn Balor, who by nature is not a loudmouth, who doesn't go out of his way to make noise outside of his character, went in front of the media with the kind of energy that tells you the frustration is real, it's deep, and it's been building. In interviews making the rounds, Finn didn't throw a tantrum. He didn't call out management by name. He's a professional. He knows the game. But what he did do was speak of that particular way that wrestlers speak when they're choosing their words very, very carefully, because the words they actually want to say would blow the whole building up. He talked about expectations, about feeling ready, about knowing what he brings to a match like the Royal Rumble, the storytelling, the moments, the ability to work any position in that match from Iron Man to Surprise Elimination Machine. He talked with a barely contained edge about watching the Rumble from a distance, when he believed, and still believes, he should have been incited. Read between those lines, and what you're hearing is a man who feels disrespected, a man who feels like the system he helped build is moving without him, a man who has watched former stablemates rocket to championship glory while he orbits the main event picture without ever quite being pulled in. And here's the twist that makes this entire situation even more fascinating. There are people inside WWE Creative, reportedly, who wanted Finn in the Rumble, who pitched scenarios, who saw the storytelling potential. The decision to leave him off wasn't unanimous.
It was a choice made higher up the chain. Which means this isn't just about Finn Balor being overlooked. This is about a philosophical divide in how WWE values its generational talents versus its shiny new investments. And that, WrestleScope Nation, is a much bigger conversation. Let's zoom out for a second, because I think this moment, frustrating as it is for Finn, actually reveals something important about where WWE is right now. The company is in a strange in-between place. On one hand, you have Roman Reigns' historic run reshaping what a WWE Championship reign looks like. You have Cody Rhodes completing his story in a way that genuinely moved people. You have Rhea Ripley becoming one of the biggest stars in wrestling, male or female. You have CM Punk's return injecting chaos and credibility all at once. On the other hand, you have a locker room full of elite talent, Finn Balor chief among them, who are stuck in a creative limbo that the company doesn't seem to know how to resolve. Finn has done everything asked of him. He's been loyal. He's reinvented himself multiple times. He's made other people look better on his way to the ring and on his way out of it. And yet, no Rumble, no clear title picture, no defined trajectory.
Now, some of you in the comments are going to say, and I want to hear this, maybe Finn's time has passed. Maybe they're protecting a bigger WrestleMania return. And that's a valid read. Maybe this snub is actually a slow burn setup. Maybe the meltdown, the heat, the frustration, maybe that's the story. Maybe Finn Balor channeling this real-world emotion back into his character is the match-quality rocket fuel that gets him back to the top of the card. Because here's what I know about Finn Balor. He has never been more compelling than when he's angry. When the professional smile drops and the real fire comes through, that's when Finn becomes must-watch television. If WWE is smart, if they take this moment, this publicly simmering frustration, and they build it into something explosive heading into WrestleMania season. Because a motivated, emotionally raw Finn Balor with a legitimate chip on his shoulder, that's one of the most dangerous things you can put on a wrestling show. Here's the theory I want to leave you with, and I want you to really think about this before you go. What if Finn's media meltdown is not a symptom of his burial, but the beginning of his resurrection? In wrestling, the line between reality and performance has never been thinner. The most compelling characters in this industry's history have always bled reality into their presentation. Austin's frustration with McMahon was real. CM Punk's pipe bomb was built on real grievances. Roman Reigns' eventual heel turn worked because the audience could feel the genuine weariness underneath the character. What if Finn Balor saying, in so many careful professional words, "I was ready, I was snubbed, and I am not okay with it"? What if that's the loudest promo he's cut in years? What if this is Finn, consciously or unconsciously, writing himself back into relevance through pure, unfiltered authenticity? Because the Finn Balor who shows up fired up, running on legitimate frustration, with the demon locked and loaded as the ultimate expression of barely suppressed rage, that version of Finn Balor can main event any show on the planet. The Rumble didn't just snub Finn Balor, it may have accidentally created the most dangerous version of him we've ever seen. And I, for one, cannot wait to see what comes next. WrestleScope Nation, that's where we stand. A legend left off the biggest stage of the Rumble season, a media response that was measured but burning underneath, and a story that is absolutely not over. But now, I need to hear from you. Do you think Finn Balor was genuinely disrespected by this booking decision? Or do you believe this is a masterfully constructed long game that ends with Finn's biggest moment yet at WrestleMania? Drop your take in the comments right now because I am reading every single one, and the best comments are going straight into a follow-up video. And if you're not already subscribed to WrestleScope, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell so you never miss a breakdown, and smash that like button if this video had you fired up. We keep it real, we keep it deep, we keep it WrestleScope. Until next time, I'll see you at ringside.